أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على أشرف المرسلين سيدنا Muhammad وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. Viewers at home, brothers and sisters in Islam, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. You are most welcome to another edition of our program, Nasfat Hour, sponsored by Nasfat National Headquarters. Today we are discussing a fundamental principle of Islam that has been described by many observers as perhaps the most forgotten and seldom spoken of by people. That is zakat, the third pillar of Islam. In the studio with me to discuss this important pillar of Islam is one of the national missionaries of Nasfat. Is also the director in charge of Dawah, the National Mission Board of Nasfat, a lecturer at the Department of Foreign Languages, Lagos State University. I have with me in the studio Imam Ustaz Dawood Oniyide. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Thank you, Ustaz, for sparing the time to come to the studio to share your thoughts with us. What is zakat?
A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. In the name of Almighty Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful. Viewers at home, once again, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. The word zakat means a lot when we look at it from different perspectives, from linguistic perspective and from technical perspective. From linguistic perspective, it means purification, blessing, growth, and blessing. Then from technical perspective, it is a third pillar of Islam, where the Almighty Allah made it compulsory for every Muslim, either male or female, to take a certain percentage of his wealth when it reaches what is called nizab, and distribute it to certain category set of people in the society. As Allah mentioned in the Quran, chapter 9, verse 60, those are the beneficiaries of zakat. I think we are coming back to that one. Then zakat, when we look at the Quran, it has basis in the Quran. Allah make it compulsory, as I said earlier on. To extend, Allah mentioned zakat in about 30 places, and it combines zakat with salat in about 27 places. As Quran chapter 2 verse 43, Quran chapter 18 verse 18, Quran chapter 18 verse 74, Quran chapter 19 and Quran chapter 19 verse 13. And also the Prophet was referred to have said, to show the importance of zakat, that Islam was built on 5 pillars. Number 1, testify that there is no other God except the Almighty Allah. Observing salat, paying zakat, going to the fasting in the month of Ramadan, then going to Mecca when someone can avoid it. That these verses and the saying of the Prophet really shows the importance of zakat and the compulsory of zakat. And zakat was made compulsory for every Muslim who can afford to do it in the third year of Hijrah, when the Prophet migrated from Mecca to the Medina. That is the meaning, the short meaning of zakat.
Thank you very much. Now that we know etymologically what zakat is and conceptually what zakat is, you had made allusion to the fact that zakat is to be paid by Muslims who have a wealth that has reached a particular stage, and of course there are also people to benefit. Let's start from the word, who are the people to pay, and what is the word you mentioned before. Who are the people to pay zakat? Is it for every Muslim, just like every Muslim prays? What are the people to pay zakat?
Okay. Zakat, which means there's a condition that really guides the paying of zakat. Number 1, people to pay zakat must be a Muslim. That is the first condition. Then the second condition, the person needs to reach age of puberty. Then he must mentally okay. Zakat, for somebody to pay zakat, he must be free. He must not be a slave. Then he must be the owner of the property before he can pay zakat. Then the zakat, the property also needs to reach minimum nizab. That is what they call nizab. We are coming back to the issue of nizar. Then the items that need to pay zakat from must be the zakatable item, not every item that's zakatable. There's some item which is haram, it's not allowed to pay zakat from that item. Then the quantity of the wealth needs to reach a year. The person needs to possess the material, the wealth, for at least a year before he can pay zakat on it. Then paying zakat is supposed to be once in a year. Then the minimum amount that need to pay from it is that you need to take from zakat is just 2.5%. Those are the conditions. Those are the conditions that guiding paying of zakat. The person need to be a Muslim. Okay. He need to be a reach age of puberty. It must be free. Okay. It must be mentally okay,
and it must be the owner of the property.
Yes. Then the property needs to be zakatable. The material that is haram.
Thank you, sir. It's not clear to our viewers now who are the people to pay zakat in Islam. Those people who have the wherewithal, who have the rich, the wealth with which to pay, and it has to be the person. It has to be the owner of the person, and not the person must be free. You mentioned nizar, and you have mentioned the fact that what Allah is asking us to pay from our wealth is just 2.5%. But how do we get to the nizar? How do we know? The current is zakat of 100,000 naira, for instance. How do I know what amount of money must I have in my possession for a whole year before I can pay zakat on it?
The word nizar is a technical word that denotes minimum amount that a person needs to possess before he can pay zakat. During the period of Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, what they used to calculate zakat to minimum is just 20 dinars, and 20 dinars is the money that's made from the gold. Then 200 dirham is 200. The other one is 200 dirham. That one is from silver. But nowadays, the scholar have already evaluated the dinars into gold and silver. If the dinars is converted to gold, it will give us 85.9 grams of gold. The other 200 dirham, it will give us 592 dirham. Then this gram will be converted to the current money that is being spent in the particular area. This means the nizar will definitely vary from time to time. It depends on the economic value of that particular area. Okay. In Nigeria, for instance, we may have a certain amount of money for nizar for this year. Second year, next year, it may differ. This simply because our economy is not stable. Okay. It's move on and come back at time. Okay. So then the Nasfat agents for zakat and sadaqah, what they normally do at the beginning of every month, they go to the internet, look for the nizar for Nigeria Muslim. As of now, for this month of Ramadan, they told us that the minimum amount which Muslims must possess before they can pay zakat is just 711,000 naira. Okay. If Muslims can have 711,000 naira after it's already made all its financial obligation.
Okay. You can pay out of that.
You can pay out of just take 2.5% out of 711,000 and pay for that. Okay. So and this one will be given to the beneficiary that we are going to mention.
Okay, we are going to mention. Now it is clear now. Viewers at home, to make it simple, what is clear from what our Ustaz had mentioned now, that if you have 1 million naira accruing to you as your money after a year, what you have to pay out of it is 2.5% of that money, which is 25,000 naira. In essence, what we are saying is that Allah is saying, out of 1 million naira, give me 25,000 naira out of it to take care of the poor, while you keep naira and 75,000 naira for yourself and your family. You can see that how magnanimous Allah is. Now coming back to the issue of who are to benefit from the profit of zakat. We know those to pay, we know what to pay, and we know the rate at which we make the payment. Who are the beneficiaries, which we had mentioned earlier?
Yes, look at the beneficiaries. According to the Quran, chapter 9, verse 60, Allah categorically mentioned 8 people who can benefit from zakat. Number one, al-fuqara, the poor, those who don't have anything at all to take their livelihood.
Okay.
Number two, wal-miskin, the needy. Number three, wal-amilina alayha, those who are working for zakat. Number four, wal-mu'alafat qulubihim, those who just accepted Islam. We just give them a kind of money or whatever to encourage them to Islam.
Okay.
Number five, wariqah, the slave.
Okay.
Maybe it's already in slavery bondage, and
Okay.
they want to free them
from the bondage.
Exactly, we can buy
zakat to buy freedom for them.
Number five, al-gharimin, the debtors.
Okay.
Those who have already borrowed a lot of money and
legitimate debt now.
Yes. Then number four, fi sabilillah, what we can spend in the cause of Allah.
Okay.
Then the last one is fi sabilillah, wabnu sabil, the welfare, the traveler, those who are traveling from one country to another country,
and they get stranded.
Exactly.
And they need to pay their way back to where they came from.
Those are the beneficiaries of zakat. They are 8 in number within the society.
Thank you very much. Now it is clear those who are to benefit from zakat, there are 8 of them. 8 of them, different categories. And if you go to Quran 9 verse 60 as mentioned by our stars, you will find them there. Viewers are told if you are just joining us, this is Nasfat half hour, sponsored by National Headquarters of Nasfat. And like we have mentioned in our previous edition, if you want to go on Hajj or on Umrah, particularly in this month of Ramadan, for Umrah to be able to spend the last 10 days in order to witness your letter to call in the Holy Land, Nasfat has provided a platform in Tassan Tours and Travels Nigeria Limited. If you want to go with us, just go to the office at number 9 and 10 CMD Jubilee Road, Magodo, Lagos. I'm sure you get the form there and you will enjoy traveling with us. It will be a spiritually rewarding time. And of course, on the issue that we're discussing on zakat, if you want to pay your zakat, maybe you now have 2 million naira in your account, and now you can give Allah 50,000 naira out of it, which is the 2.5% of what you have, and you don't know where to take it to. Bring it to Nasfat, and it will be judiciously disbursed to those categories that have been mentioned. Nasfat has an agency called Nasfat Agency for Zakat and Sadaqah. You can also find them at number 9 and 10 at CMD Jubilee Road, Magodo, Lagos. And I'm sure if you do that, your wealth will multiply. So now that we are now aware of who to pay, what to pay, and who to receive, what are the benefits of payment of zakat? Let's start from the benefits to the giver, the one who pays zakat. What does it benefit from paying zakat?
There's a lot of benefits of zakat. We have spiritual benefits, social benefits. From spiritual benefit, it is a pillar of Islam and the act of ibadah. The moment a Muslim pays zakat, Allah will reward him. Then his wealth will be increased. The wealth will be purified by the Almighty Allah. Definitely, and also will be blessed by the Almighty Allah. That's the personal advantage of the payer of zakat.
Okay.
Then from the social aspect of it, in the society, it's a means of poverty alleviation. It always eradicates poverty totally. When you can pay zakat and be judiciously distributed to those who need the zakat. It is a means of social security in the society. Okay. If the rich can pay zakat to the poor, they also need to engage themselves without doing kind of dubious or illegitimate business or crime. Exactly. Zakat will also provide or promote law and peaceful existence in the society within the rich and the poor. Those are the advantages of zakat. Social advantage, spiritual advantage for those who pay zakat and those who receive society. If zakat can be properly paid in the society and collected and distributed, it will definitely eradicate poverty and it provides peace, social security within the society.
Okay. The benefits of zakat are quite enormous. You have listened, you have heard from our stars, the social, the spiritual, the economic benefits of zakat. And of course, it's important to mention the fact that during the reign of Umar bin Abdul Aziz, is in history. For those of our viewers who are watching, you can Google it. Umar bin Abdul Aziz, during the Umayyad era of Islam, zakat was managed for 3 years. And the 3rd year of management of zakat, there was no one single poor person in the whole of Baghdad to receive zakat for that year. It means that if our government look at zakat, they won't find poor people, because the zakat is to take people out of poverty and empower them to richness. That is one of the goals of zakat, and that is one of the goals of Islam. And that's why it is important that please tell our viewers what Nasfat has been able to do in terms of collection, management, and disbursement of zakat.
Nasfat as a society has already established an agency called Nasfat Agency for Zakat and Sadaqah. This agency has been working a lot in collecting zakat and distributing zakat. From the beginning of this year, Muharram in particular, Nasfat distributed close to 8 million to those 8 categories of beneficiaries of zakat. We give to the poor, the needy, the free life. We did a lot of scholarship scheme from there. Then we also empower people. About 2 weeks ago, the first Saturday of Ramadan, we also distributed close to 5 million to the beneficiary of zakat, the needy, the poor, the empower. We empower a lot of people. A lot of people from our society, we give them from those from that money. Then the people outside the Nasfat, not only Nasfat, because zakat means for Muslims, not only Nasfat. We give it to the Muslims, we give it to the Nasfat members, we also give it to those who are not a Nasfat members. That's what Nasfat has been doing in the inception of the agency.
You mentioned, I remember you said Nasfat Agency for Zakat and Sadaqah. What is that, the other word, Sadaqah? What is it? What does it connote?
The reason why we combine the two together, because the two really serve the same purpose.
Okay.
Is to ease the suffering.
So is Sadaqah also compulsory?
Then there are some differences between the two.
Okay.
Zakat is compulsory. It's one of the pillars of Islam.
Okay.
Why the Sadaqah is not compulsory.
Okay.
It's not compulsory. Then zakat need to reach a certain minimum amount before you can pay zakat.
Okay.
But Sadaqah is not like that.
Okay.
You can pay at any time. Then there's a particular percentage we need to be paid for zakat.
Okay.
2.5%. For Sadaqah, we can take just any amount. Exactly. Then the zakat can be distributed. Zakat can be distributed to those 8 categories we mentioned before. Likewise, Sadaqah as well can also be distributed to those 8 categories. Yes. Those are the little difference between.
Okay. Thank you very much. You have heard what our side is saying, that while zakat is paid by the rich, every Muslim is enjoined to pay sadaqah. So my viewers who are watching, you are not excluded from our discussion. Even if you are poor, even a mere good advice is considered as sadaqah in Islam. That little money you have with you, if you have 1 orange, you could share it with somebody, so that you can also have the barakah of what you have earned and the one you have shared with somebody. So while everybody is entitled to pay sadaqah, the rich will pay zakat, and that is one of the ways of teaching us that Islam encourages giving from whatever we have. Before we go, Ustaz, we have mentioned, is zakat only on money?
We have different items that can pay zakat.
Okay. What are the other items that can pay zakat on?
Money, not only money particularly. They can pay zakat on money. They can pay zakat on the money we have at the bank.
Okay.
They can also pay zakat on money we keep at the cooperative.
Okay.
Then the zakat also on farm products.
Okay. For those who are farmers.
For those who are farmers, then on the products which are not perishable.
Okay.
Like vegetable, orange, we don't need to pay zakat on that.
Okay.
One.
But on cash products, like cocoa, like gram and the rest of them.
Then the livestock.
Okay.
Like cow, sheep, goat,
the cattle and the rest.
Okay.
Okay.
That one also has its own different result.
That from the 2.5% of the.
Okay. The one that's so popular is which people are normally do every year is zakat on money. Not only money alone. Whatever you possess, you pay zakat on it.
Thank
also, it's very important. Zakat, we need to pay zakat on the item. We don't need to pay zakat on the item that we are using. Like your car, you don't need to pay zakat on it.
Okay.
What your house, your personal belongings, you don't need to pay zakat on it. But when you are generating money for you, you need to pay zakat on it. If you have a house that generating money for you on a yearly basis, you need to pay zakat on the profit, not on the value of the house. When you have car they are using personally, you don't need to pay zakat on it. But when you are generating money for you, you need to pay zakat on the profit, on the money you are getting from that, not on the machine you are using
to make that money. Thank you very much. Viewers at home, this is an auspicious month, the month of Ramadan. A month in which any act of devotion, any act of generosity done in it will attract manifold blessings. If you do sadaqah in Ramadan, you get the reward of paying zakat. If you go on Umrah in Ramadan, you get the reward of somebody who has performed Hajj. If you pay zakat in Ramadan, you get the reward about 70 times more than that. So what we are saying, we are encouraging you, please bring your money. There are lots of people outside who need to be taken care of. Those of us who are rich, give them 2.5% to Allah, not 10%, not 5%, just 2.5% to Allah, and your wealth will increase. On this note, I want to thank our stars, our Imam, our National of Nasfat, and the lecturer in the Department of Foreign Languages, Dr. Daoud Boliyide, for gracing our studio today and sharing your intellectual disposition with us. Thank you very much, Ustaz, for coming. And viewers, again, if you want to pay your zakat, the way we have to go to is Nasfat Agency for Zakat and Sadaqah, 9 and 10 CMD Jubilee Road, Magodo, Lagos. And if you want to join us to Umrah in the last 10 days of Ramadan, the forms are available now. We welcome you at our office at 9 and 10 CMD Jubilee Road at Southern Tours and Travels Nigeria Limited. Of course, you should also know that this is the month of Ramadan. The month of Ramadan is the month of blessing and the month of forgiveness. On that note, viewers at home, I am Mustafa Adeba Abelo. I say, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.